Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing one of my most requested videos. I am doing a Q&A. So my TikTok has blew up again. I can't believe it, guys. I just want to say thank you so much again. Every single day I'm going back and my videos are getting more and more views, and more of you are interested in doing camp. So I've gone through all my comments, I've gone through my Instagram comments, my Instagram DMs, and gathered a few questions that you guys have been asking me, and in this video I am going to answer them. So my first question is, how much does it cost? So depending on your agency, it can cost a different amount of money. I went with Camp America, and I will do a cost breakdown of how much I paid for everything and how much it came to altogether. I can't quite remember everything, so this is just a rough estimate, but this is my cost breakdown. This is a cost breakdown based off a first timer and the non-flight Camp America option. Registration fee for Camp America is free. This means there's no commitment, and you can do more research and see if you really want to do the programme. First instalment of £55. Once you've completed enough of your application, Camp America will notify you and tell you it's time to sort out an interview with your local interviewer. This DBS fee does not go to the agency, it goes to the DBS company. The pricing of the DBS check can vary from £49 to £55. It's £49 for people taking the interview route and £55 for people using the post office service route. After that, it's time to pay your second instalment of £175 to Camp America. This all goes towards helping process your application. This includes verifying your references, approving your police check, and getting your application ready for camps to see. This is a very exciting time as all the Camp America team are busy helping you find your camp placement. Pay your final instalment to Camp America of £219. After they receive this, they will issue you your J1 visa sponsorship form. This instalment confirms your placement. Also included in these fees is group international accident and sickness coverage, which you can find out more by visiting the Camp America website. You have to have your medical form completed by a GP. Some GPs may charge for this service, or some may do it for free, like mine. Then time for your visa. You pay £125 for your visa, and this fee goes to the American Embassy. Camp America will send you a visa pack with all the important papers that you need to take to your visa appointment. They will also send you a booklet or a link to instructions on how to book your appointment. Also is a £0 charge for the pre-camp orientation materials that Camp America provide. It's then up to you to book and arrange your flights. In the end, you end up paying £449 to Camp America and £174 in non-Camp America fees. This meaning your visa and your DBS. So in total, you pay £623. Now on to the flight option. The flight option is the option I did, as it was my first time travelling alone and I didn't want to have to worry about flights. Everything is the same apart from the third instalment. They will still continue to issue your J1 visa sponsorship form. However, they will start to make your flight arrangements, cover your flight to the US and your flight back home. They do this so you don't have to pay for the flights up front, and your departure date and airport of arrival will be determined by your camp. America flights mainly fly from London, but for no additional cost, you can choose to depart from Scotland, Edinburgh or Glasgow, depending on the availability. With returning flights, your package includes a return flight from New York Airport. In order to select this option, you need to let camp know the date you wish to return before you leave camp. Alternatively, you can have the flexi flight option, which means you can change your flight dates at a later date, but this is not guaranteed. America also give the option for a flexi flight. This means you can leave from an airport in the USA as you may be travelling, and this is where you might want to go home from. But do be aware that there is an extra cost for this, and also the Flexi Flight Pass is only back to a London airport. So altogether, you pay £649 to Camp America and you pay £174 in non-Camp America fees. So that was my price breakdown. As mentioned, I went with Camp America, and different agencies cost different amounts. I am returning next year, so I do get it cheaper because I'm already registered with the agency. And as I mentioned, I did flights included. If I didn't do flights included, I would have paid a lot less money. The next question is, can I still apply for next year? And the answer is yes. The 2023 applications have only just recently opened, so there's plenty of time to get hired by your favourite camp. I've also put a personal link below if you would like to sign up through the Camp America agency. The next question is, how much money will I earn? So now this depends on your job role at camp and also your agency. So if you're a specialist, you may get paid more, and if you're a general counsellor, you may get paid more. Once again, this depends on your camp and your agency. So I got paid around $800. This is because I decided to do my flights with Camp America, meaning they took the flight price out of my wages. If I chose to do my own flights, I would have got paid more because I would have got paid my full wages. Once again, I didn't really struggle. I managed to kind of like work my way through camp and traveling with that money plus some money that I'd saved. So I was okay. But once again, this is something that you'll see on your contract once you sign with your camp, and also depends on your agency and the package that you do with them. To be honest, I even forgot I was getting paid at camp because I was really there for the experience. So when I got my wage at the end, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting paid. I totally forgot. And it's not something you like really need. It's more pocket money. This is just to kind of help like buy stuff when you're traveling or stuff while you're at camp. I was lucky enough that my camp paid us in 3 installments during the time we were at camp. So I was lucky that if I needed to dip into my wage, I could. But I know this, once again, depends on your camp, on what time of the placement that you get paid. The next question is, can I apply if I don't live in England and the USA? Yes. So one of the great things about the agencies, especially Camp America, they have different types of pages, like this one here, Camp America International, where if you're not from the countries that the normal Camp America pages represent, you can also sign up and still go. So yeah, you can still go. You can be from literally anywhere in the world and go. So I'll link Camp America International down below for anyone that isn't sure if they can go because of their country. This would be probably like one of the best pages to go through. Leading on from this question, I just thought at my camp there was people from all over the world. So you had obviously people from England, people from Scotland, people from Wales, we had people from Australia, people from Amsterdam, we had people from Poland, Mexico, and it was so nice to, you know, meet different people from all over the world and have these great friends and like great connections. So it's also, that's just an added point I'd wanted to make, like it's great when people sign up from all around the world because you get to experience new friendships and experience new cultures. The next question was, how did I feel about traveling by myself and would I recommend it? So going to camp, obviously I did not sign up with anyone. I didn't know anyone, like I was going in solo. And lucky enough, my camp had a group chat where we all got each other's socials and we were messaging each other. And a few of us that were going on the same flight through Camp America, you know, planned to meet in the morning. And, you know, some of us even stayed in the same hotel the night before, which was great because we could get to meet each other. And we all met at the airport and we all did everything together, the process together. Lucky we were like all on the same flight, so it was great. But yeah, it was nice to go alone and not know anyone because, you know, you meet new people and you can be your true authentic self. They can't judge you on anything because they don't know you. Like honestly, it was so refreshing, like meeting these new people who were all going on the same experience, all feeling the same emotions, and you know, people that you could really connect with, and you know, that are now your friends for life at camp. So I would recommend going alone if you can. Like there's no harm in signing up with a friend, but I think it's such a good experience on your own. Now after camp, I went traveling with 2 of my best friends, and honestly it was amazing. Like we went to all these different places, we had so much fun, and I couldn't recommend traveling after camp enough. The next question is, do you recommend getting a SIM card? Now, personally for me, I did not get a SIM card because I'm with O2 and I had O2 travel inclusive, which meant that I could use my phone in America. However, with that O2 travel inclusive, with the data plan, I could only use it for 30 days once I switched my data on. So I decided to start them 30 days for traveling because obviously I wouldn't have like Wi-Fi, I needed it for my tickets, etc, etc. So during my time at camp, I just connected to the camp Wi-Fi. We literally had Wi-Fi literally everywhere at our camp, so we were really lucky. And on days off, usually when you go to places like the water park or the shopping mall, there's free Wi-Fi you can connect to there. So I didn't really find it necessary to have data whilst being at camp. But then for traveling, definitely need data because you're going to need it for like maps. You're going to need it for loads of stuff for your tickets, getting up your tickets and all that kind of stuff. So it's a bit of a hard question. Like if you cannot get travel with your plan that you're currently on, I would definitely recommend getting a SIM also. Like for family communications, I use like iMessage and WhatsApp or whatever. But yeah, So the answer is yes, if you can't change your contract. But I would just like check with your provider, see if there's any travel inclusive that you can go with them, and because that might work out better, if that makes sense. I hope that kind of answered the question. The next question is, what kind of footwear should I bring to camp? So I brought 3 pairs of shoes. I brought some Converses. These are great. These are my everyday shoes, like for walking around camp. They're really comfy as well. And, you know, they're just cute and they're comfortable as well to walk around camp with. So I'd bring a pair of shoes that are similar to like Converses or anything. Vans, anything like that. My second pair was Crocs because, you know, who doesn't love Crocs? We're also at camp, you know, they were just like, after wearing my trainers all day, put them on. Just be careful with Crocs because, you know, they aren't protective shoes. So they're not ideal to be like wearing if you're going to be doing outdoor activities, you know, or in the kitchen. So I know some camps have a no Croc policy as well. So I would also check with your camp. And the third pair I had was a pair of Air Forces. These were my going out shoes for like days off and stuff. These were heavy. So what I actually did was I wore these to America so they didn't take up weight in my suitcase. Which, you know, I overpacked, obviously, and I was overweight, but didn't have to pay, luckily. But, yeah, so they were my 3 kind of shoes. The Air Forces were for days off, going out into the bar, you know, more of like a going out pair of shoes, even though they're not really going out. But, yeah, and also I would, once again, check with your camp, because some camps may require you to bring special shoes, like outdoor shoes for climbing or all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I would say have a comfy pair, a kind of loungy kind of Croc sliders kind of pair, and then a nice pair that you can wear on your days off. The next question is, should I bring a backpack or should I bring a suitcase? Now, this question was asked so many times, and I brought a suitcase just because I found it easier to travel around with as well. And I like to pack a lot of stuff, so I would not be able to carry that on my back because I'm really small as well. So, you know, I'd probably be like falling over with a massive rucksack on my back. I think it's just down to personal preference, because for traveling, doing your like flights and stuff, big luggage like a big rucksack or a big suitcase, you do have to pay extra for. So bear that in mind when you're bringing things that you know, you're bringing luggage to camp, that, you know, I'm going to be able to travel with that. So I had a big suitcase and I had a hand luggage type suitcase and a rucksack as well. So whilst I went traveling, I travelled around with my hand luggage and my rucksack because I was able to leave my big suitcase at my auntie's house in New York, which, you know, really worked out for me. But yeah, once again, I think it's down to personal preference, but I would recommend a suitcase just because, you know, you can just push it around. Definitely, you know, if it's in your price range, a 4-wheel suitcase is even better because, once again, you can literally push that. I was literally pushing mine like this, like, you know. And if you can, I would recommend hard shell as well. I know I bought a fabric suitcase this year just because I thought, you know, I can like stuff things in the side. But in fact, it made the suitcase more heavier. And I know that a hard shell do weigh a bit more, but I would recommend bringing a hard shell just because I had issues having a fabric one, you know, it being stretched out, it ripping, like, you know. Next year I'm bringing a hard shell suitcase just because, you know, I know it's going to work better. I am going to lose about 2 kg, 3 kg, but, you know, for me, it's going to be easier for me to travel with. So I think I can't answer that question. It's down to personal preference, but my recommendation would be a hard shell suitcase. Another point is, before I forget, at my camp I was lucky to keep my suitcase in my room, so it was nice to have a hard shell suitcase that I could just open and use as kind of a drawer underneath my bed, instead of if I had a rucksack I won't be able to really do that, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's just another point that I kind of make. The next question is, if I had to tell my past self about something before I went to camp, what would it be? I would tell my past self that you are gonna have the best summer ever. It's gonna be hard work. Like, at times you're gonna be like, oh, this is hard work, and you are gonna miss home. But honestly, the friendships you make and the person you come out of camp is just gonna be the best version of yourself. Before I went to camp, I was having a lot of self-confidence issues, and, you know, I wasn't really feeling the best. And honestly, this experience brought out a different person in me. I've come out of camp such a better person within myself. Like, I feel so much better. And, you know, being able to, you know, do this travel, be independent, and make friends from all over the world. I can't explain, I don't think I can put it in words, it's kind of cringe, but I can't put it into words how much camp benefited me. Like, making these connections with these kids, with all these people from all over the world. I think I tell myself, you're just going to be the best version of yourself when you come out of camp, and you're going to have the best summer ever. So my next question is, what fun team building activities did you do during orientation? So at my camp, orientation was 2 weeks long. The first week was all lifeguards and international staff, and then the second week, the American staff arrived. So during the first week, you know, we were doing some like painting and getting the camp ready, which was nice because, you know, we got to like spend time with people and we were put into groups, and then these groups would change for the next thing. So we got to like mingle and make friendships and meet a lot of different people. We also got to try out the water park at camp. We got to try out the trapeze at camp. We got to try out the OA at camp, the zip line, the rock climbing, all that stuff. So we got a chance to do all those little bits. We had a trip to Walmart, which was like, oh my gosh, Walmart. I was so excited to go. Like, it was honestly, I couldn't believe it when I got into Walmart. I was like, this is the Walmart that's in all the American vlogs, all the American movies. Like, I'm so gassed to be here. And the second week, when the Americans arrived, we did some kind of like speed dating, getting to know each other. So we sat in a circle, kind of went round. We also did line dancing and country dancing, which was honestly so fun. Like, it was so fun. Everyone just stuck in. It was honestly one of my best memories at camp was doing that, because it was so hilarious. Our camp got people in, like professionals, and honestly, it was just hilarious. And then, like, ourselves, what we did is we organised, we had a massive WhatsApp group, and we'd be like, anyone want to play a game on the turf? So we'd go to the turf at night time, you know, we would play like American football, rugby, soccer, like England versus USA, like, you know, friendlies. It was so fun. And then in our indoor basketball court, we'd have music playing. We'd play like a basketball game, mixed genders, boys game, girls game, you know. And we also were lucky to have an indoor cinema at our camp. So, you know, we'd put on a movie, we'd have a movie night. That was fun. Oh yeah, a campfire. We had a campfire with s'mores and we were singing songs. Like, honestly, it was such a good experience. Some of my favourite memories are from orientation as well. Like, just the random volleyball games we would have. Like, it got to a point where it was so hot we couldn't do any work. So we were just like chilling, relaxing, playing music, getting to know each other. We had a barbecue. Like, honestly, it was so fun. Orientation, you know, be one of your best memories, because that's a time when, you know, the kids weren't there and you could like mingle with all your co-counselors and really get to know each other. The next question is, how long did the application process take? So once you've applied for a Camp America, you will be set up with a Camp America representative to have an interview. This is a very short interview. It's just to check that the program is right for you and you're in it for the right things. Once that's done, you will have sort of like a portal like this, and you've got different sections that you need to fill out. Once you've done that, you'll probably go onto your DBS part. This is a police check to check it's okay for you to work with children. This process can take about 3 weeks, because you've got to have your IDs checked and everything, and it's got to be posted to you, etc, etc. And then once your profile is complete, it's just about waiting for camps to contact you. There is an option of contacting camps yourself, but once again, you still need to go through an agency in order to be hired. So I would recommend, if you want to contact a camp yourself, just make sure that there might be some issues that might come up, just like I said before, because they will have to then go through your agency either way. But Camp America do amazing camp fairs where you can get hired on the spot. Literally, Camps from America come down and you can speak to their director right there and then, and they can be like, we want you, and place you there. They are some up and coming camp fairs for next year. I will put them here and here. Yes, so if you do have the opportunity to be able to come down to one of them, I would definitely recommend it, because it, you know, helps saving having to wait for a camp to, you know, contact you, or when you can literally go in there and get like placed on the spot. Once your application is like done, it basically goes onto this massive website. I'm just going to call it Camp Tinder, and it will have all your skills, and camps will just go through it and, you know, pick who they want. And so that application can be quite long, because there's loads of people camps are going to go through for your job. So if you can, please make your job stand out. on your profile, try and put something that makes you different from everyone else. What makes you different from all the football coaches out there? What makes you different from all the general counsellors out there? Because camps are also hiring American staff as well. So please bear that in mind, that, you know, it's kind of competitive as well, because you need to put on your profile something that makes you stand out. The next question is, what is your favourite memory of camp? Now, this is a hard question because so much funny things happened at camp and so much wholesome moments at camp happened. It'd be hard for me to just pick one. So I'm going to pick like three. One of my first memories will be our first game on the AstroTurf when the Americans arrived. So we all like went up to the AstroTurf. It was cold, so me and my friend had this massive blanket that we literally lived in at camp. Like, if you saw that blanket from afar, you knew it was me and my friend coming. And, you know, everyone sat up there and spoke, and there was a game going on, but it was like really just like, I had to pinch myself. The sun was setting and I was like, is this real? Like, I literally feel like I'm in an American teen movie. Like, is this even real? And I just sat there and I realised like where I was and like the opportunity I'd been given. So I was literally like, my brain, like me and my friend were like, are we in a movie? Like, we had to pinch ourselves. And we kept asking our like American friend, like, what is this feeling? Like, and he was like, oh, it's a fever dream. Like, it's just like you're living like, and we were like, what? Like, I can't, when you get to camp, you understand, like, it feels so surreal in the moment. Like, you feel like dazed out, like, am I actually here? Like, am I actually living this? A second memory of mine would be like a day off that happened where we went to Taco Bell, we went to Walmart, we went thrifting. Yeah, it was an eventful day, you know, if you know, you know. Like, that day was hilarious, and I would be telling my kids that story, you know, that story. One of my third memories would probably be the second to last night out that we had, just because some people from the other line came, and I just remember it being like so lit. Like, honestly, it was one of the best nights out like I've ever had, like, even from England. Like, it was one of the best night outs I've ever had, and it was just so funny. The memories, everyone was singing, was a very fun time at the bar. So yeah, that's probably the third memory that I can think of. There's loads more, but like them definitely in my top like three. The next question is, I'm 23 years old. Am I too old for camp? And the answer is no. Literally, age does not even matter at camp. It's not made a big deal. I am, well, at the time at camp, I was 19. I'm 20 now. And I was in one of the 10 most youngest counsellors at camp. Obviously, the youngest being 18. And yeah, everyone's in like their early 20s, 21, 22, 23, 24, whatever. Like I said, it's not made a big deal. Like, you're not singled out because you're older. Everyone is like, gets down, everyone gets silly, everyone gets goofy. So like, it doesn't matter. You're not too old, basically. You are not too old. What were days off like at your camp? So at my camp, we had 1 day off a week and 3 nights off a week. As I explained in my previous video, I did like a day-to-day at camp or whatever. So on our evenings off, you had the option to go to the bar, or we would go to Walmart, etc. Or you could literally just stay in and chill around camp. Now, days off, our camp organised trips for us, so we were really lucky. We went out in this yellow bus, and oh my gosh, guys, when I first seen the yellow bus, I was like, oh, I'm living my American dream. Like, I even did a photo shoot in the yellow bus because I loved it so much. And yeah, so we went to the water park, went to the outlet, went to the mall, we did all sorts of stuff. Theme park, Six Flags, yeah. And obviously you weren't forced or pressured to go on these days out if you wanted to stay at camp, which some people did. Some people stayed at camp, some of the American people like went home or like visited family, etc. If you have a friend that drives or whatever, you can just go off on your day out, do whatever. Like, our camp has a local lake called Copate Lake, and some people rented a boat and went out for the day, but you did need a boat driver. But yeah, so there's loads of different things to like do on days off that your camp will organise. But also, if you can go out on your own day off and do your own thing, feel free to also do that. You're not pressured into doing what the camp wants you to do, because on my days off, I noticed that I'd spent a lot of money, because obviously it's your day off, you have to feed yourself or whatever. Like, you have breakfast at camp, but if you're leaving camp and you're going out to a mall, your transport's sorted, but the food at the mall, whatever, your clothes at the mall, whatever you're doing at the mall, it's going to cost you money. The next question is, did you get picked up at the airport? And my answer is yes. I was lucky that my camp is based in New York, so we flew into JFK and we had to wait for everyone to come, and our camp picked us up in buses and we were on a 2-hour journey back to camp. So, well, it was meant to be 2 hours, ended up being 4 because the driver got lost, but still, like, yeah, 2-hour journey back to camp. So yeah, it depends on your camp if they pick you up or you have to make your own way. Once again, that's something I would check with your camp when you get hired or during an interview. Another big question I get asked is, did you plan traveling before you went to camp? And the answer is no. I just was like, I'm going to wing this. I'm going to go with the flow, whatever. And honestly, that's what worked out for me the best. So in the last 2 or 3 weeks of camp, everyone kind of sits in the staff room and gets into groups and kind of plans where they want to go and what they want to do. So I went traveling around with one of my closest friends, but honestly, for the first 2 weeks, she had planned to meet her friend. Her friend came from England to visit her, which wasn't a problem because I went traveling with 2 of my other closest friends and then met back up with her to continue our travel plans. Honestly, it was a bit stressful because I was like, oh my God, when are we going to plan? When are we going to plan? When are we going to plan? But obviously, like I said, it all kind of falls into place and everyone ends up staying in like Airbnbs and stuff because it's a lot cheaper, hostels, and you end up meeting like other people that did camp as well. So traveling is also really, really, really fun. I know a few people that had family come from England or from where they're from over to America to visit them, and then they went home. There's obviously no pressure to not pre-plan if that's what you want to do. It's up to personal choice because your visa allows you to travel 30 days before and 30 days after camp, whichever you choose. You do not have to stay the full 30 days, but I decided to do that because I wanted to like make the most of my experience. Some people stayed 1 day, some people stayed 3 days, some people stayed a week, 2 weeks, whatever is suitable for you. I do know a lot of people that did pre-plan ended up regretting that decision because it meant that they couldn't go and travel with their friends, or they had to cancel what they had before and lost out on money so that they could then travel with their friends. So like previously mentioned, it's up to you and up to personal choice, but I recommend saving it till camp because you make loads of friends there and you're going to want to do things with your friends instead of doing it alone. And the final question is, I've got an interview with my camp. What sort of questions should I ask? So these questions I put together are like what I think is important to know before choosing your camp. So definitely what is laundry like on site? Because, you know, some camps, they don't do your laundry. You have to do your own. Obviously, at my camp, we had a laundry room where we could do our laundry. And also you could have do your laundry with the kids as well. And another question I would ask is your phone policy. Obviously, like, being at camp is not to be on your phone, but it's nice to be able to have access to your phone when you can. So I know some camps allow you to have your phones on you, some camps don't. They have to be locked away in lockers, etc. So yeah, ask about the phone policy. I would also ask about airport, being picked up, dropped off, back. You know, some camps you get picked up like mine and back, dropped back. Some camps you have to make your own way. So what is that like airport pickup, etc. Another question, days off, nights off. So you know how many days off you're getting into, how many nights off you're getting into. So when you get there, it's not a shock and you can't be like, oh, I didn't know that I wasn't getting that many nights off, etc., etc. Another question I would ask is about age range. Some camps like let you have the option to choose what age kid you want to be with, or do you just get put with whoever? They're just a few questions off the top of my head that I can think of. If I think of any more, I will put them on my Instagram in a highlight, or, you know, make another YouTube video. Yeah. So thank you so much, guys, for listening to my Q&A. I hope it was somewhat helpful to you guys. And if you guys have any more ideas for YouTube videos, please let me know by commenting down below. Or if you've got any more questions, don't hesitate. DM me on Instagram, DM me on TikTok. Put them below and I'll answer them. And yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, follow my TikTok, nearly at 5,000 followers. Follow my Instagram here, and I hope to see you soon. Over and out.